John, you're muted.
Is he? Have I not unmuted him? Oh, I have allowed him to speak. You can unmute.
I think METAH John is.
Okay, I think it's Telegram by now. Yeah.
Okay.
I really think it's Telegram. They don't like us. Okay, I guess without further ado, let's not drag this further because I know you guys are coming in for the rest of the crowd in the other half, so we're divided into two today. Okay, so instead of me doing the introduction for you, I think it would be nice for us to hear from your end. What is Metahorse about, or who are you, or anything you want to share to introduce yourself to the community? Yeah.
Sure. So my name is Joseph. I'm just one of the team and co-founders for Metahorse. Personally, I think I play a lot of games on PS4. One of my main games that I usually play a lot is actually FIFA. Just being a typical boy, playing a lot of football games. I think being part of this community on the crypto space was really eye-opening for me. Never really seen people that are so sort of like very united a lot of times when you have really strong communities. And I think that was when it developed that kind of opportunities for me over time. And hence from being a participant of the crypto space, and right now, me and John, METAH John, we're just sort of building, our own project here, as well as working with different set of partners in terms of how we can take our project to the next level from here.
Sounds good. So I guess from here on, you introduced a little bit about yourself in general. How about the projects? You'll be able to bring us through how the idea came about?
Sure. So I think I was back in Malaysia in I think sometime in January. I was just speaking to a friend who spoke to me about the potential of the NFT market space for people around their age from 40 to 50. And I think ultimately what he wanted was the NFT that actually represents sort of like something more luxury rather than having just a JPEG picture or NFT that doesn't necessarily have any value to it. And we talked about it on the idea of how a lot of GameFi that we realized the only way for the users or the players or the gamers is to earn or profit from the game is to play the game, spend some time on it, earning the tokens from the game, and ultimately liquidating the tokens on the exchange market. And I think it comes from an economic standpoint. It doesn't really make sense, when we are taking out the tokens from the economy and taking it out to the exchange. That's not really sustainable in the long run. So he has an idea, which is our CEO, in how we can integrate the economy from the GameFi world, as well as having the integration between the reality world. So I think having both the reality side of things, as well as the GameFi world coming together, that's what really Metahorse is all about, which is our tagline called digital equates reality, which is also what we're trying to do, having best of both worlds, the digital side and the reality side of things. That's really it about Metahorse. Yeah.
So your explanation is very sweet and compact. And I know that it's a big project that is coming up. I can see the slogan right behind you. It's really, really good.
Thank you.
So yeah, I guess a little bit about why we are collaborating, and you have a lot of partnerships as well that is going to come. And obviously we understand that partnerships are important to a project. So really, what is the basis behind these partnerships for you guys in Metahorse?
Yeah, I think I got to give a major shout out to this guy called Kek. I'm not going to review his real name in person, There's this one guy that connected with me on Telegram when he was in our community. We were just having a chat, and he was just talking to me and how like, hey, I can recommend you this partner. They're sort of like building something, and I was just lucky enough to have met you guys, and then you were just sharing with me about this project, OG Token. And I think to give the public or the community an insight about what this partnership is all about is that a lot of times crypto projects require some form of marketing support. Getting the kind of exposure about the project, getting it to the right channels, right people, and also I think ultimately to sort of allow the public to understand what's the project all about. And I think what OG Token's value in this partnership that we see is that OG Token has the kind of experience in the marketing support for crypto marketing. And after having a chat with Joey, I really see the kind of value that this kind of partnership we can help each other in terms of how we can connect us with the right kind of partners or any kind of strategy that can come together. Of course, having the best of both worlds. She is in the Southeast Asian market, specifically right now in Singapore, and Metahorse right now is in Dubai. So it's really coming, getting more communities and coming together. And I think ultimately that's what this partnership is all about. Helping one another in terms of strategic and marketing support for both projects here.
Good. Thanks for introducing that part. I think it's a shout out to Kate. Actually, he's okay with sharing. He's not here, Twitter. He said he's gonna be here. But yeah, that's fine. So now we are still in March, and through our conversation in the past, we understand that your game itself will be will launch in September, right? As I understand. Yeah. Okay. So what essentially, right? If there are people who want to invest from here currently, what will be the difference between those who will invest in the game and when the game is completed, those people who play it for free?
Okay. So let's put it this way, right? In a lot of games, and I think we would say that there's two set of different individuals, I would say. One is that I just want to invest in the project, I buy the NFTs, I hold the tokens, and I don't do anything about it, right? And then you have another set of people that actually love gaming, and that's the outlet of sort of getting rewarded by spending the time on playing the game. Now, for the first set of individuals that are those, we are calling them those investors. Ultimately, the channel here is for them to buy the NFTs and ultimately giving them an opportunity to own something beyond the value of the NFT that they paid for. What does that really mean is that by owning the NFT from Metahorse, and over time when you achieve the Metahorse rank, you'll be able to claim a real horse from us. So that's the first part for the investor. Yeah, we spoke about how much horses are meant to you and your family, right? So now when we talk about game players, of course, for the first set of individuals, that requires a longer term of duration in terms of claiming the horse, right? Now, when we talk about the gameplay and the game side of things, you have the gamers who play maybe like every day. Right? I mean, when I used to play back in college, I used to spend a lot of time every day, maybe like 3 to 4 hours a day, just playing games. But then my experience on that is that I'm only paying the money to the game creator, and that's the profit that they get from me. But I'm giving up all of my time to it. And I think that's the beauty of GameFi, and the idea of play to earn, right? Which is if you contribute some form of effort to the project, I think that's ultimately getting rewarded from the time being spent in the ecosystem. And this is what I see for gamers who are really enthusiastic about play to earn games. Now, we made an outlet for them that are not so much of a long-term basis, but by playing the game in our ecosystem, you have multiple game modes that allow you to actually generate some form of reward. I wouldn't say profit necessarily. Reward in terms of our tokens reward, where you can actually claim the reward from playing the game and then liquidating them in the market if that's what you want to. And I think that's the main distinction between having an investor kind of roadmap as well as a gamer roadmap, where one is, maybe you can rent it out to someone to play the game for you, to train your horse to achieve the rank. But one more is just to, on a daily basis, you just want to get a quick buck out of it, and you can actually play the game to earn some small amount of reward from there.
That sounds interesting. I hope I will not be spending all my time trying to earn myself an expensive horse. I like to play games too. So I hope I don't get sucked into it. So there's a lot of interesting aspects that you have mentioned. Obviously, there is the gamer aspect, and then there is the investment aspect. So help us understand a little bit, perhaps, oh, bless you. Help us understand a little bit about perhaps how will the token be utilized in the game? So how does the use case work?
Sure. So one of the tokens, the utilities that we have made for our project, of course, one is to be staking. And a lot of times projects, we realize that staking can come off as a little bit overused. In the sense that it's pretty much, if you've been in the crypto space for about quite some time, you kind of know what staking is all about. You put up your tokens for a while, and your reward is through the interest, which you call your APR or APY, right? Now, we sort of gamify a little bit of the staking mechanism for our project. And how we do it is by utilizing the tokens in the game. So we have game modes like jogging mode, your racing mode, and up to 5 modes. Now, all these modes requires the user to sort of stake the token. We don't necessarily call them to use the token. So you place the token within the ecosystem, not taking it out of the ecosystem. That's also kind of like staking for us, right? And by doing so, then we are able to reward you guys in terms of a lock period. So for example, if you lock for X number of days or X number of period of time, then your reward will be this X amount of number. So that's one of the utility that I would say for our tokens, which is sort of like gamified staking, or you want to call it hardware. Yeah. And the other way around, I would say for our token is that if you look at a white paper on the website, right, the tokens will also be required for users who wants to breed or to do fusion in order for them to achieve the Metahorse rank, which is ultimately the Metahorse rank. To claim a real horse, you require 2 sets of colors, which are the brown color horse as well as the black horse. And these two require some form of spending of our tokens within the ecosystem. And that's one of the utility in order for them to achieve the Metahorse rank. And not only that, I think in the long term, we are also looking into having the DAO system in place for our project. Of course, in the common sense is that the biggest token holders will always necessarily have the higher priority in terms of the voting mechanism on deciding on the DAO system, what are the roadmaps for the project in the future. And that's one of the utility that we have for our project. Yeah, I think those are some of the utilities that we will have for the time being. But of course, we will also look into some other mechanisms in terms of how we can actually expand the utility in the long run, for example, like a marketplace. And yeah, I would say those are the few utilities for the time being.
Добрий день.
Just want to check, is he from Pasha? Are you from the team?
Добрий день. Sorry guys.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me remove him. That was so. That was an interesting occurrence, like a wild Pokemon. Okay. So you got me really excited about the whole game, and obviously, personally, I do want to get in early from my end. Not speaking on behalf of everybody else, but I'm sure there will be people who want to understand when this is coming to them. So I know the project has done a lot of work at the background. You guys have appeared in the Dubai Expo itself. You've done a lot of groundwork before even doing the pre-sale. So, spreading the awareness, and I think that's great. So spill us the juices. When will the pre-sale of the tokens be and the NFTs, the launch, all the juicy little live details that you can share?
Yeah, I think I was just talking to John this afternoon. I was just telling him, someone in the group actually in our community asked about, when it's pre-sale, when it's private sale. And then I think it's kind of like a good sign to know that there are somewhat like a demand for our tokens, right? But before I get into the details, many a times what we see in most projects is exposure to partners and stuff. Now, in terms of what we realize that is will be also a different kind of gameplay that we are doing it here now in Dubai, in the kind of expo that we expose ourselves into. Just really getting on ground to meet real people, talking to them about ideas, getting some form of validation about the project. And over the course of the last 2 weeks when we go on these events and stuff, it helps us in terms of sort of like fine-tuning the kind of project, the mechanics of our project. And that really helps us in terms of understanding what the market really wants right now from a GameFi project. And I guess we're not really rushing into our private sale and sale at the moment of time. But one thing that I'd like to share with the team and the public is that we're looking at the timeline on today's, okay. We're looking at somewhere between April and June. That's the timeline I would say. I wouldn't have a specific timeline yet. But that's the period of time that we'll be talking to a lot of partners, talking to a lot of strategic partners, in ensuring that we work with them and, ultimately getting our token to the right holders. In the crypto space, we have this term called the diamond holders and the paper holders, right? So yeah, we just want to make sure that our tokens are in the hands of the right people that actually wouldn't really dump our token after trying to make a quick buck out of it. So that really helps us a lot. That's what my point was, when we go on ground, meeting people, building the kind of relationship, understanding the ideas behind this project. And I guess having the kind of confidence in people and working with the right partners, that's something that we are more focused on. I know some of them in the community have been asking about these questions, but give us some time in terms of making sure we have the right partners on board. So what I can say is, between April and June, that's the timeline I would say for the time being. Yeah.
No problem. I think that's fair. A solid foundation is definitely going to push, a game of this scale. I'm seeing a really big scale game, and it's not something that, hey, let's do it now and let's launch and, say bye and suffer the consequences. So it's a mega project. A lot of preparation work, like you say, I think many people don't understand partnership. It takes time to form.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of filtration as well, because it's not easy to see eye to eye in certain things and everything. So seeing the amount of work that you guys have to be involved in, a lot of work, right? How many people actually are working in the project for this right now?
Right now, the team is, I can't even start, man. Like every morning when we get up on our phone, I think John and I will experience the kind of messages coming in on our WhatsApp or Telegram. I think approximately 20 people on the team, both in Malaysia and Dubai. And then we have a team of about close to 100 members on supporting us on managing the community. Just really moderating the people and getting us the right sentiment on making sure that we deliver the right things for the community. I think that's more crucial, having the kind of community members that are really supportive. I think people like, I don't know, Rakib, Xflow, Anissa, these kind of Nas, these people are like just really supportive in our community, always responding to queries. So really shout out to them that has been supporting us in responding on our behalf. And I think John would agree that they actually have put in a lot of effort giving the right answers instead of wrong answers to the community as well about the gameplay, about the project. So that's really crucial, having the trust in community members as well as we go forward, because there will be a lot more partnership, discussion that we're going to have, and there's so much we can spend our time on in the community. But of course, we do take this very seriously in terms of really connecting with the community and spending some time on a daily basis to just have a chat with the community to see what's going on.
Well, 20 people is it's a lot, and it's months of without first having income. So it's really a mega scale project in the making, and I think we're extremely happy with the first community that officially too. Obviously we will provide a lot of support, sharing that with other people that we know. I do focus a lot on smaller communities because that's where unity really matters instead of really huge community usually. Yeah. So I'm just going back and forth with the game a little bit, right? Because I keep thinking about it. And I think I saw on the website that currently it's on mobile, right? Honestly, I play a lot of online games with my laptop, and I'm a online, that kind of gamer. Will there be a PC version that you guys will make available?
Yeah. I think we'll start off with making sure that the game is playable on PC first for this time around. And then we'll actually move on to having it developed on Android and iOS. And I guess ultimately, in terms of the horse racing gameplay, it would be much more, I would say, accommodative in a PC standpoint, because it's a bigger screen and bigger view as compared to a phone. So that's something that we are more focused on, developing the kind of experience, the gaming experience first on PC, and then working towards on the mobile, as of course mobile will be much more convenient, because I don't know about you guys, but I spend more time on my phone nowadays than my PC. So that's something we do not want to lose in terms of the potential, on mobile players. So yeah, we'll definitely do it on PC first, then on mobile in the future.
Okay, so I got it the other way around. Okay, no, that's fair. Yeah, I think that's really fair. I stand with you with the fact that PC should be the first, seeing that you guys have a section that is for racing. So on the
Yeah.
phone, it's gonna be really tiny. So
Yeah,
good luck.
yeah.
Um, so back on the game, I guess a little bit about the gameplay, just to try to think how can we earn, right? Because I have played some games before where you can earn, well, not crypto, but it's earning the game items. There's always daily quests or stuff like that that needs to be completed. Will you guys have something like that as well for earning purposes?
John, do you want to try and take this call, or do you want me to answer?
Hey. Finally, I can talk. Can you guys listen to me? Yeah. So basically, in our game, we have 5 modes. So first one is called jogging mode and racing mode, and also rank mode. And we have 2 tournaments. So basically, to answer your questions, we have a jogging mode and racing mode. So this is where the players can come in and earn their daily returns. So they can just get their NFT and send them to jogging, and then send them to racing. Like in the real life, the horses need to exercise before they go into the rank mode. So throughout this jogging mode and racing mode, they are able to earn their daily incomes. So, but we do set a limit for that. We only distribute around 300k of token, of meta token, for these 2 mode daily. So we already do all the calculations and make sure every token is fair in a fair pay in a fair play, and is distributed equally to all the players. And also they can join the rank mode to increase the chance to get to the certain criteria, and once they achieve the criteria, they will become a Metahorse Ranking with the WH, so they will eventually get the real horse themselves. Yeah, so you might want to get an NFT yourself as early as possible now. yo. So you're able to get a bigger pile of tokens as soon as possible as well. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the vibe a little bit that you guys gave, because I'm trying to imagine, right? I have a lot of very exciting ideas. I play Harvest Moon growing up, and there's horse racing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just think about that, and it feels a little bit like a lot like Digimon racing, where you have to feed them, you have to train them before they can race. So I really find it like it's a lot of different idea plus a unique one from you guys. So it feels nostalgic but new at the same time. So I find that really, really interesting. Thanks for sharing about the gameplay, about your project, and introducing what you guys are to us. So I guess some of our community is actually asking some questions. I'm just trying to filter before we open to the ones on the voice because I think they only want to type. One person is asking for the Telegram link. It's fine. I can't invite my friends here. What's your Telegram link? Do you mean? Okay, I'll send both. Oh, Jawad, can you take care of both Metahorses and ours? Okay. Second question. I think this came from your community, from Jabril. It says, should the augmentation be virgin Metahorse or even max clone?
That's kind of tough question. Let me see, what does that really mean? Should the augmentation be virgin? Wow, that's a okay. I think it's not that complex in terms of the breeding and the fusion. It's just really having two horses. So put it this way, right? When we talk about breeding, is having two set of NFTs, 1 plus 1 becomes 3, which means you get two of the NFTs, you breed another NFT coming up. That's the idea of breeding, right? And in order to breed, of course, you require some meta tokens to ensure that tokens are within the ecosystem, and that would be locked for the breeding pool, where we're actually coming in back to the play to earn pool for you guys to actually play and earn again. Now, when we talk about fusion, then is 1 plus 1 becomes 1. So you get two sets of NFTs becoming 1, specifically on the white and gray color horse. So in order for you to do your Metahorse ranking to become the brown and black, you require one black, one white or one gray, and another one to do your breeding, or fusion, sorry, to get your brown and black color horse. So I think ultimately we don't really have the element that what Jabril mentioned, but it's just as simple as just the breeding mechanism and the fusion mechanism.
Okay, so I guess for me to rephrase a little bit, because I'm the outsider from the project, right? So as I understand, the biggest benefit or the best benefit is having those NFTs and the tokens allow you to breed to have more horses, which means you gain more value. So it does not actually upgrade the horse specifically, but it allows more horses to be born in a way. Okay, so I guess this will answer one of the questions that Johnson had in the chat. I'll just name the question, but I think you have already answered it. It says, he said, what are the ways in which I can increase the value and powers of the different NFT in the game? So we don't have that, it's through breeding. So when you breed, you get more NFT, different colored horses, and that increases the value. Once this is achieved, what are the benefits to the player having the best NFTs in the game? So I don't think there's a tier of best NFT except for the brown and the black one that you said, right? Those are the rarer ones.
Nope. Can I just add on a little bit on that? Yeah,
sure.
So basically, we have 3 type of criteria in our game to achieve the highest ranking, of what we call Metahorse. So the first one is the normal ranking. So basically, we have 6 rank. So from bronze to emeralds, emerald is the highest rank, obviously. You can just have a look in our white paper. And then the second one is the star level. So there's total of 5 star. You need to achieve 5 star plus another criteria, which is the brown and black horse that Joey mentioned just now. So you need to fulfill these 3 criteria in order to get to the ranking of Metahorse. So you will, by then only you will be able to get yourself a real horse. So by participating all the rank mode and stuff like that, you will gain actually some attributes for your horses. So you get close whenever your horses level up, the star level is more level, and also the ranking is higher. So eventually the NFT of the value is higher as well, because it's closer to the real horse ranking. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just trying to absorb it. So 3 tiers. On the lowest tier, there's 6 levels. Okay, so there are multi-tier ways of ranking them up, and there is also different breeding method to finally achieve the title of Metahorse. Okay, no, that's very interesting. I think for a first version, this is already very developed, and it has very strong gameplay, because I think you guys capture the exact essence of what would trap people to play the game is to rank up, even if it's not for money. I would say a lot of people will actually do that because they just want to get like, oh, this is rare, I want to get it. Yeah, well, bunch of my friends and we're all gamers. So that's an amazing idea. So thanks for answering those questions. I don't see, let me just run through one round to make sure I didn't leave anything in the chat before we open in the voice chat. Okay, we don't have any questions in the chat. How about the voice chat? Anyone wants to ask a question? Do take turn. Let's not talk over each other. We're gonna open this up in 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's 1. Joel, I've unmuted you.
Okay. Hey guys.
Hi.
So I was gonna ask. I was kind of curious. Would there be some sort of community government for users where we get to request for updates to the platform and stuff, or make changes and all?
Yeah, I think I could answer your question. So as Joseph has mentioned earlier, we are actually heading to the DAO system mechanism in our project. So we are heading that way. And let me tell you one thing. We actually have one of the pool. It's called governance pool in our tokenomics. So what does this governance pool work is that the players able to vote daily whether the token goes to the pay to earn pool or to our breeding pool. So this is something I know is very complicated. There's a lot of pools here. So you can actually check out our tokenomics. So there's 25% of the governance pools will be decided by the committee. So they are able to decide the token to go back to the pay to earn pool or maybe to the breeding pool. So what does a breeding pool means is all the token collected from the game, they will all the token will store in the breeding pool, and the breeding pool will separate it into few sections, and one of the portions will go to burning pool. So it's likely it's the token ecosystem of our game, and it's very healthy because we never get any we don't take any portion of the breeding pool. So everything will be contributed back to the community. And yeah, I think that's one of the coolest thing of our tokenomics is the the players, the community able to decide where the token should go, and we don't have the right to decide it. And everything is under the smart contract, is already deployed. So yeah, I think that I did answer the question.
Yeah, sure. So okay, a certain percentage of earnings and all goes to charity. I mean, charity is one good thing we should all be involved in. So I just want to know if you have plans for charity as well.
Yep. So basically, we are connecting few of the, because we are in the horse industry, so we wanted to contribute back to the horse industry in the reality. So we actually contacted a few of the horse charity. They rescues horses. They rescues all the wildlife and stuff like that in Dubai. So we are still in the negotiation term, and also we are trying to get get as much as possible so that we can help them and also improve the horses' life. As all of the team members here, we actually love horses. So that's why we come up with this planning and stuff like that, and the charity just to help all the horses out there, and the organization that also help the horses. So we do have the planning, and mainly we'll focus on the animals and especially horses.
Okay, that will be all. Thank you very much, and wonderful project you have there.
Thank you so much.
Sounds really, really good. So actually, I didn't know that you guys were going to do charity for the horses, and I do think it's one area where it's quite lacking behind, and to upkeep or maintain a horse is not easy, and a lot of species of horses have actually slowly died down because of lack of care or lack of preservation, So this is definitely something that I'm really glad you guys are doing. Good job. Kudos to the team. So there are some questions in the chat, actually a lot. I might have to filter. Before I filter those questions, let me ask for your capacity. How many questions can you guys take? Because I know you guys are busy as well. Plus, we have another session later. So let us know how many questions that you guys are okay, so that I can take it up and share.
I think we can take on about 5 more. Is that okay with you, John?
Yep.
Yeah. 5 more questions would be good. Yeah.
Let me see some good questions, guys. Thanks for writing, but I'm just gonna pick some not so generic sounding or would be beneficial for the crowd. Sorry to address that. Just want to be honest. Okay, so I think this is an interesting question because it coincides with what you guys are doing right now, but I think it works for long term. So Raf ZS, his question is, what is your strategic plan to maintain the sustainability of this project in the long run? And what is your expectation in this project in 2 to 3 years from now? Now, you guys have a big team. I think this is a good question.
Cool. I would say one of the strategic plan is to ensure that we work with the kind of metaverse developers in the right. In terms of what we're trying to build, of course, we're trying to build a metaverse that allows our gameplay to be on the virtual world, right? And ultimately having a team of developers that are able to replicate the idea that we have and to make it into something more alive. That would be something that we'll very much focus on in the next 2 to 3 years. We do not want to just have the game on, just like another game on the game world, but ultimately having a metaverse that you can use your NFT and also have your horse in the metaverse, and that's what we are very much focused on. In terms of the strategic plan is to really sort of build a community and have the demand ready in place, which is a strong community team. And then when we go to the kind of developers or even investors, that's when we are able to sort of demand for the kind of value in return for us to develop and build this kind of metaverse for the game. I guess right now we're just really ensuring that we grow the community, having more people to really understand the whole ecosystem. That's the more key focus that we have right now.
I'm being swamped by questions, like a lot of questions. Let me just pick out some good. Okay, this is a funny one. I like this one. I know this is probably not gonna be something that you guys will answer, but he's a very regular in our community. Adam said, when do I get my horse?
When you achieve your Metahorse rank, man. I mean, yeah, good question, Adam. I don't have a timeline because we have. If you look at our white paper, John has spent a lot of time putting into the calculation, making sure that it's not going to be too hard. It's not going to be too easy to achieve the Metahorse rank. So I don't necessarily have the fixed amount of duration for you to get your horse, but what I can say, that really depends on the number of players on the ecosystem as well. Of course, when you have more players, then if there are more better horses in the game, then ultimately that would make it much more difficult for you to compete with the best horses. And on the downside of it, if you have lesser horses playing, and then of course the competition will be higher as well, everyone gets an easier chance to earn the Metahorse rank. So I don't exactly have a timeline, but make sure you get your NFT if you want to own a horse.
Okay. Well, I think that's what exactly that we will do. So I think you also answered another question that someone has here, because Pot of Avery's actually asked, how long would the average gameplay to end? Does one game consume too much time? So I think this is within John's calculation. It will coincide with the amount. Because until he can determine the fair figure, he can't tell you how long before you can play it. So I would say work in progress to the answer. Save you guys some breath while I search more. Let's see. Some of this feels a bit generic, not gonna lie. Okay, I like this one. So perhaps I think I can answer half of it, and half of it is a question for you. So John FK said, what are your plans in terms for global expansion? So I understand your game will not be Dubai based though, it will be a global game, correct? Okay. But will you be focusing on a specific market to start?
I don't think we have a specific market to start. That really depends on where our community members are ultimately. Of course, at this point of time, we only have the main channel, main group. But surprisingly, I already have someone from the Philippines asking us already, hey, can I start a new community for you guys, like a sub-community for Philippine people? And I think that really will be the kind of dictate where we're going to head towards. And the much focus for our community members. If it's from this country, then we'll go there. If it's another country, then we'll just expand to that. But at this point of time, we're just sort of like just one for now. We don't have any specific country yet. But I think working from my past experience on previous projects, Philippines people have been always really supportive in terms of the GameFi project. And I got no doubt that they are the one that come to us for the first one to ask for a sub-community in our group. So big shout out to the Philippine team and Philippine members.
For sure. We have a number of Filipino community here. They might not be in their own small Filipino group that we have, but they are also in the main chat. And I think that's where the base is. That's how Axie Infinity, that's how they boom anyway, right? It was really through a big push from Philippines. So that's a good start that people from there are looking towards, and I think I will be able to connect you guys with one guy that's holding the Philippines community. He has some good insights, so we can talk that offline. But just reminded me of that. Yeah. So okay, let's see. Yeah, some of this I can answer for you guys. Like, for example, NFT platform. This is not an NFT platform, it's a game. There is NFT, but this is not a platform for NFT. Let's see. Okay, I like Andrew's question. Sorry.
Sneaky asked a pretty good question as well. I'm not sure if that's...
You can ask. I mean, you can read and select if you like.
Yeah.
We're on the fourth one.
Sneaky asks, as many artists and celebrities are now entering the NFT space, can we expect, and are you on talks with artists, celebrities to come on your NFT platform versus verified artists? Yeah, I think, if you will have to have celebrities coming on board, I wouldn't say no to them. We've seen projects that have actually grown tremendously, having real celebrities coming on their project. Like you have Snoop Dogg on the Sandbox project, and then you have what was that again, John? The one with Stephen told me yesterday. What was the name of the project again?
It's called Friend Club. It's FWEN Club. So it's
yeah. So I guess it just doesn't make sense for us to say no to celebrities and I would say ambassadors for the project. Ultimately, more importantly, is to have people that really see the idea of the project and really believe in the team and would want to work with us. We are more than happy to collaborate with them. So great question, but I really hope to see how one day we can actually reach to the kind of level where we get noticed by celebrities and so-called verified artists. That would be a great chance for us to get some form of ownership from the real world, people that actually believe in them in the real world as much as in the crypto space. So I do see that kind of influence power, and that would be great for us in the project if we can have a chance to work with them.
I think he asked about NFT platform, but I like how you focus on having the celebrity piece, and I think such an interesting concept. Definitely not going to be far from actual celebrities. There's a lot of sportsmen that are really into equestrian, and I do think being in Dubai, you guys have a lot of access to be able to showcase that really well. So I'm sure you guys will get the endorsement very soon. Don't quote me on that. It's recorded, I forgot. But yeah, I have full confidence. So, okay, this one I guess it's a good start where the question is from Yoon. It says, she said, how did you come up with a horse concept project for a play to earn game? Why a horse?
Cool. I guess because that can come back to the idea that I highlighted in the first question, right? I was just having a chat with the CEO and we were talking about how can we cater to the project for people around the age of 40 to 60. And you have people that say things like, hey, I've seen the young people talking about NFTs, and then all I know is just a picture on their profile picture on their WhatsApp or any social media account, but what exactly it's all about. And in the eyes of that group of people, many of the times it doesn't really make sense to them to see a JPEG picture. But for the youngsters, they would understand. If you see a bot 8 yards club, you definitely know, like, oh, okay, that guy's rich. He spent like tons of money buying on that NFTs, right? But you don't expect the older generation to actually have so much understanding of NFT as much as we that are always on our internet and website and all these things. Now, it comes back to the idea of how can we create that can cater to those people that that actually form the kind of luxury value in the real world as well. Of course, when we talk about other animals, for example, like butterflies, why would I want to own a butterfly in the real world that it's not going to cost me like a lot of value out of it, right? The butterfly is just going to fly around. But if you play a game that actually allows you to own the NFT of the horse and then actually earning your way to earn a real horse in the real world, I think that was exactly why we started with horse, because that actually has a tangible value in terms of in the real world. And that's really how Metahorse is all about, having a NFT that has backing of the real asset in the real world. Joey is muted.
I think Joey is muted.
I'm talking to myself. Oh my gosh. So
Hi guys. I'm speaking from. Can you guys see me or hear me?
Hey, yeah, so
I can't hear you guys. I don't know what's with.
you guys can you hear us? Oh, I can't hear you now. I can't. It's okay. I think John and I can just have a quick chat here. Yeah, but I think okay, cool. We'll wait for you.
It's
It's
okay. I
okay,
think
guys.
I can.
Everything
Yeah,
happens.
I can just add in a little bit on the questions that Joseph had just answered, so that we actually
Yeah.
find out that the horses is like a very very special creatures. Like we have figured this for a long time, that like a very very long time. Like we are thinking of what are the other animals we can actually plan out of the game 5 to do with it, but we realized that the horses is one of the most and very special. What? Wow, I
So sorry
there's
for
a
that. That
there's
was
a
very
few
awkward.
fans over there.
Yeah, that's not tolerable. Guys, don't do that on our partners call. That's very rude.
Yeah. So let me continue with my answers. So that we actually found that the horses is like something very special and is a very special creatures in the world. And also horses, everyone can own a pet dog, pet cat, fish, and other animals, but horses is not everyone can own it. Only someone with some royal background and someone is like very rich background, and eventually you own a horses, you are able to like elevate your status of your social life. So it is something that actually brings some value to your personal life in reality, so that we decided to come up with this horse idea, and we try to link it with the blockchain world, and try to connect everything. And yeah, there's one of the add up point that I want to talk about it. Since you are back, I'll let you host the meeting.
Let's talk so that I can rest. I'm kidding. No, I think you guys did a great job introducing what the project's about, and you have really shared a number of things pertaining to, from beginning, why horses, what's the project about, how's the structure of the project, what are you guys doing right now, what are the plans for launching, the game structure. I think everything is in very good place despite being very early stages. Obviously, there's a lot of questions from the community, but I don't think we can ask all of the questions. So, but we do have another session in just 6 more hours, or wait, 5 more hours to go,
Yep.
I think. Yeah, so if the rest of you are still around and you still have your questions unanswered and you would like them to be asked, just join us over here again, and I'm sure Meta John, Meta Joe, both of them will be really happy to explain further about what you guys need or what you guys want again. So I guess I want to give the time back to you guys. It's been an hour sharp, and
Yep.
I know you have to repeat this again. It's tiring. So we'll catch you guys in 5 hours from now.
Yeah. And I think before we leave the call, we'll just announce that on behalf of the partnership that we have with OG Token here, as a token of appreciation for the team, we actually have a giveaway for both of the communities that are able to participate. We'll share the link on our own communities so that everyone who is in this call would be able to participate. Of course, don't miss out. You have a chance to win 5 NFTs from Metahorse, and we're giving out some tokens as well to 10 winners. So give yourself a try. You see, maybe you might just win yourself an NFT.
Can I join?
Sure, you can.
I use another name so you don't know it's me. Don't do
Okay,
that,
all right.
guys. Don't cheat. But yeah, because I'm sure these NFTs will be highly valued. Thank you so much for doing that. I guess this is a really nice gesture that you guys have. Before we go as well, we're really excited that you guys are here, and we're really
Yeah.
happy that this is the first partnership that we can announce to the team. We have others, but we chose to talk about you guys specifically because I really like what you guys are doing. Both from the team side. We thank you very much for the giveaway. And
Yeah.
guys, whoever that's listening, go join their Telegram right now. Follow their socials. You will need to do that anyway to get into the giveaway. So make it
Thank
easy.
you, thank you.
They also have $10,000 giveaway on their site on top of the special giveaway from OG.
Yeah.
So check out all their promotions. We will keep you guys updated here as well from time to time whenever there's update. As they are partners, we will be happy to share all your news and updates with you. And see you guys in for 5 hours.
See you. Take care, Joey. Take care,
Thanks
guys.
for today.
Thank you so much for the
Bye-bye.
time.
Coming by. Take care, guys.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.